50 Hidden Rules of Power You Must Know. Hello, and welcome back to MT. Today we are going to talk about a very serious topic, which is power. There is a famous, and some might say dangerous, book called The 48 Laws of Power. This book is read by very powerful people all over the world, from business leaders to politicians, because it explains how power works in the real world. I was not sure if I should make a video about this because many of the ideas in the book can be used to manipulate and harm others. Some of them are not very nice at all. I do not recommend you use these laws to be a bad person. However, other people might use these laws against you, so it is very important to understand them. This video is to help you see the games people play and to protect yourself from them. Think of it as a guide to defense, not a guide to attack. Before we begin, I have a simple question for you. Think about a time you felt like someone had all the control in a situation and you had none. What was that situation? Let me know in the comments below. I am curious to hear your stories. Rule 1. Never outshine the master. This is a very important rule to understand, especially at work or in any situation where you have a boss or a leader. The idea is simple. Always make the people above you feel comfortably superior. You might think that showing off your talents and how smart you are will impress them, but it often does the opposite. If you shine too brightly, you can make your boss feel insecure, threatened, and like you are trying to take their place. Their ego is a very fragile thing. When a master feels insecure, they will not praise you. They will find a way to get rid of you. Imagine you are new at a job and your manager has been there for 20 years. You are young and you have fresh ideas that are actually better than your manager's ideas. You might be tempted to show everyone how clever you are. But if you do this, your manager will not see you as a helpful employee. He will see you as a threat to his position and his pride. He might smile at you and pretend to like your ideas, but behind the scenes, he will be looking for a reason to fire you or move you to a department where you are no longer a problem. A better way to handle this is to make your ideas seem like they came from the master. When you have a good idea, present it in a way that makes your boss look good. You could say something like, "Based on your great leadership, I was thinking we could try this." This way, your boss gets the credit and sees you as a valuable and loyal supporter, not a rival. They will be more likely to help you in the future because you are making them look good and feel secure. This law is not about hiding your talents forever. It is about being smart and patient. Let your masters promote you because they see you as helpful, not because they are afraid of you. 2. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. This law sounds harsh, but it contains a very important truth about human nature. It is natural to want to work with your friends. You trust them, you like them, and it feels comfortable. However, the book argues that friends can be dangerous in a work or power setting. Friendship is based on emotions, and emotions can make things complicated. A friend is more likely to become envious of your success. Because you have a friendly history, they might feel they are entitled to more than they deserve. It is also harder to give a friend honest criticism without hurting their feelings and damaging the friendship. If things go wrong, you could lose both a good employee and a good friend. An enemy, on the other hand, is a more reliable tool. When you hire a former enemy, they have no expectations of friendship. The relationship is purely professional. They have more to prove to you. They will work harder and be more loyal because they want to show you that you made the right choice in giving them a chance. They are not blinded by emotion. Think of it this way. A friend might not tell you the hard truth because they do not want to upset you. An enemy you have brought to your side has no reason to lie. Their loyalty is earned, not given freely, which makes it stronger. This does not mean you should be mean to your friends or never work with them. It just means you need to be very careful. Keep your personal friendships separate from your professional business as much as possible. When you need to get a job done, choose people based on their skills and competence, not just because you like them. 3. Conceal your intentions. This law is all about keeping people off balance and in the dark. If you always show people exactly what you are planning to do, you give them the power to stop you. They can prepare for your moves, build defenses, and get in your way. But if nobody knows what you are really up to, they cannot defend against it. People are like animals in a way. They can only react to what they can see. If your true goal is hidden, you can guide them down a different path. You can make them think you want one thing when you really want something else entirely. Imagine you are playing a game of chess. You would never tell your opponent your plan to checkmate them in 5 moves. You would make other moves that seem random or unimportant to distract them from your real strategy. The same idea applies in real life. If you want a promotion at work, do not announce it to everyone. If you do, your rivals will start working against you. Instead, keep it to yourself. Do the work, build the right relationships, and make your move when the time is right. By the time people realize what you wanted, it will be too late for them to do anything about it. This also makes you seem more mysterious and powerful. People cannot figure you out, which makes them a little afraid of you. They will be more cautious around you because they do not know what to expect. You can talk and share your thoughts, but never reveal the true purpose behind your actions. Keep your ultimate goals a secret. 4. Always say less than necessary. In the world of power, the more you talk, the weaker you seem. When you are trying to impress people, you might think you need to talk a lot to show how smart you are. But in reality, the more you say, the more likely you are to say something foolish or reveal information that can be used against you. Powerful people are often quiet. They listen more than they speak. Their silence makes other people uncomfortable. When there is a silence in a conversation, people feel an urge to fill it. They start talking nervously, and when they talk nervously, they often say more than they should. This gives the quiet person all the power because they are gathering information without giving any away. Imagine you are in a negotiation to buy a car. The salesman tells you the price. Instead of immediately arguing or talking, you just stay silent and look at him. The silence will make him nervous. He might start to think his price is too high. He might start talking again, offering to lower the price or add some free extras, all because you said nothing. Your silence made him reveal his weakness. When you speak, make your words count. Make them meaningful and vague, so people are not exactly sure what you mean. They will spend time trying to figure out your intentions, which gives you control. Once the words are out of your mouth, you cannot take them back. Saying less gives you a shield. It prevents you from making mistakes and makes you appear more profound and powerful than you might actually be. 5. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. Your reputation is the foundation of your power. It is what people think of you before they even meet you. A strong reputation can make people respect you and fear you, making your job much easier. A weak reputation can make everything you do a struggle. The book says you should build your reputation on one outstanding quality. Maybe you are known for being incredibly honest, or ruthlessly efficient, or very generous. Whatever it is, that one quality should be what everyone thinks of when they hear your name. Once you have built this reputation, you must protect it with everything you have. It takes a long time to build a good reputation, but it can be destroyed in an instant. You must be aware of any potential attacks on your reputation. Your enemies will try to poke holes in it. They will spread rumors and lies to damage how people see you. You need to be ready to defend yourself. Do not get emotional or defensive. Instead, use your actions to prove them wrong. For example, if someone accuses you of being cheap, make a public show of your generosity. If they say you are lazy, work harder and more visibly than anyone else. A famous story tells of a general in ancient China who was known for being a brilliant and careful planner who never took risks. One day, his army was vastly outnumbered. Instead of panicking, he opened the city gates and sat on top, playing an instrument. The enemy general, knowing his reputation for being careful, assumed it was a trap and retreated. His reputation alone saved his city. That is the power of a strong reputation. It can win battles for you without you having to lift a finger. 6. Court attention at all cost. In today's world, being ignored is like being dead. It is better to be talked about for being a little controversial than to not be talked about at all. Power requires attention. You cannot influence people if they do not know who you are. You need to stand out from the crowd. Being polite and quiet might make you well-liked, but it will not make you powerful. You need to be a little bit different, a little mysterious, and a little bigger than life. Think about famous people and brands. They do things to stay in the news. They create a spectacle. They are not afraid to be a little bit scandalous. This does not mean you have to do bad things. It just means you should not be afraid to be different. At work, do not just do your job quietly. Find ways to present your work in a more interesting way. Attach your name to everything you do. Make sure the people in charge know that you are responsible for the good work being done. Create a unique personal style or have a memorable catchphrase. Anything that makes you stand out from the gray background of everyone else will draw attention to you. The more attention you have, the more powerful you seem. Of course, you have to be careful. The quality of the attention matters. You want to be seen as interesting and capable, not as a fool. But the first step is to get noticed. Do not be afraid to be a little bit dramatic. In the court of power, there is no room for being shy. 9. Win through your actions, never through argument. Have you ever gotten into an argument with someone and tried to prove you were right with facts and logic, only to find that they became even more stubborn? Arguing with people is almost always a waste of time. When you argue with someone, you are suggesting that they are wrong. This hurts their pride, and they will become defensive. Even if you have the best argument in the world and you logically prove them wrong, you have not truly won. You may have won the argument, but you have created resentment. The other person will feel bad and will likely hold a grudge against you. A much more powerful way to convince someone is to show them, not tell them. Let them see the results of your ideas with their own eyes. Actions speak louder than words. There is a story about the famous artist Michelangelo. A powerful politician came to see one of his new sculptures and said that the nose was too big. Michelangelo knew the nose was perfect, and the politician was only seeing it from a bad angle. Instead of arguing, Michelangelo picked up his chisel and a little bit of marble dust. He climbed up the ladder and pretended to tap on the nose, letting the dust fall to the floor. He did not actually change anything. Then he said, "How does it look now?" The politician looked again and said, "Ah, perfect. You have made it much better." Michelangelo won by demonstrating, not by arguing. He saved the politician's pride and got him to agree. Next time you disagree with someone, do not argue. Instead, suggest a small experiment or a trial. Let your actions and the results do the talking for you. People are much more likely to believe what they can see for themselves. 10. Infection. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. This law is about protecting your own energy and well-being. Human emotions are contagious, like a cold. If you spend a lot of time around people who are constantly complaining, negative, and full of problems, their misery will start to infect you. You might think you are being a good friend by trying to help them, but often you just get dragged down with them. The book describes these people as drowning men. If you try to save a drowning man, you risk being pulled underwater yourself. These people often create their own misfortune through their bad decisions, negative attitude, and destructive habits. They are like a black hole for your time, energy, and resources. They will always have a new crisis that you need to help them with. They will drain you emotionally and financially. Instead, you should choose to associate with people who are happy, successful, and fortunate. Their positive energy will infect you in a good way. Their success will rub off on you, they will inspire you, and open up new opportunities for you. This might sound cruel, like you are abandoning your friends in need. This law is not telling you to be a bad person. It is about recognizing the difference between someone who is going through a temporary hard time and someone who is a chronic source of negativity. You can offer help, but you must also protect yourself. If you see that someone is constantly pulling you down and that your help is not making any real difference, you have to create some distance for your own survival. Your emotional health is one of your most valuable assets. Do not let others destroy it. 13. When asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, never to their mercy or gratitude. If you need a favor from someone, it is a big mistake to remind them of all the nice things you have done for them in the past. It is also a mistake to appeal to their kindness or mercy. This makes people feel guilty or burdened. They might help you, but they will do so reluctantly. The most effective way to get what you want is to show the other person what is in it for them. Every person in the world is primarily interested in their own well-being. Their mind is always asking the question, what do I get out of this? If you can answer that question for them, they will be happy to help you. Before you ask for help, do your homework. Find out what the other person wants or needs. What are their goals? What are their problems? Then, frame your request in a way that shows how helping you will also help them achieve their goals. For example, imagine you want to ask a successful person to be your mentor. Do not just say, "Please help me, you are so smart." Instead, you could say something like, "I have been following your work and I have developed a new method that could save your company a lot of money on a specific problem you have. I would love to share it with you in exchange for some of your advice." Now, you are not just asking for a handout, you are proposing a trade. You are offering them something of value. This makes them see you as an equal, not as a beggar. It turns the request into a mutually beneficial partnership. People are much more likely to respond with enthusiasm when they see a clear benefit for themselves. Always think about what the other person gains. 15. Crush your enemy totally. This is one of the most brutal laws in the book, and it must be understood carefully. The lesson here is that when you are in a conflict, you cannot afford to be half-hearted. If you defeat an enemy but leave them with some strength, they will eventually recover and come back for revenge. They will have learned from their mistakes, and they will be more determined than ever to destroy you. A wounded snake is more dangerous than a healthy one. Therefore, the law says that you must not just win, you must crush your enemy completely. This means taking away their ability to fight back. You must break their spirit, their resources, and their support system. This ensures that they can never rise again to threaten you. Think of a fire. If you put out most of the flames but leave a few hot embers, the fire can easily start again when a little wind comes along. You have to pour water on every single ember until there is absolutely no heat left. This law is not necessarily about physical violence. It can apply to business, politics, or even social rivalries. If a competitor is trying to ruin your business, you cannot just beat them in one area. You must outcompete them on every level until they are no longer a threat. You must take their market share, hire their best employees, and make their products irrelevant. It is a harsh reality, but in the world of power, leaving an enemy alive and wounded is a risk that powerful people are not willing to take. You give them no options, no way out, except the one you offer them. This ensures finality and peace for you in the long run. 20. Do not commit to anyone. The person who stays independent and uncommitted holds all the power. As soon as you take a side in an argument or join a group, you lose some of your freedom. You become a pawn in someone else's game. By staying neutral and unattached, you make everyone want you on their side. You can play different groups against each other, and they will all try to win your favor. The law advises you to be like a cloud that floats above the battlefield. You can see everything, but you are not involved in the fighting down below. This gives you a huge advantage. People will come to you for help, and you can choose to help them or not, based on what benefits you the most. Imagine there are two powerful managers at your company who are rivals. Everyone else in the office feels pressured to pick a side, but you remain friendly and helpful to both of them, without committing your loyalty to either one. Both managers will see you as a potential ally. They will both share information with you, trying to recruit you. This gives you access to more information and more power than anyone else. You become the master of your own destiny, not a follower. By refusing to commit, you maintain your independence. You do not get dragged into petty fights, and you can pursue your own goals without interference. People will be a little bit afraid of you because they cannot control you. You are a wild card, and that makes you powerful. 25. Recreate yourself. Do not accept the role that society or your family has given you. You have the power to create your own identity. Most people are trapped by the expectations of others. They behave the way people expect them to behave. The law says you should be the master of your own image. Think of yourself as an actor on a stage. You can choose your costume, your lines, and your character. Create a persona for yourself that is memorable and powerful. One of the best ways to do this is to be a little bit unpredictable and dramatic. Do not be boring. Do things that people do not expect. This will make them watch you and talk about you. It makes you seem larger than life. For example, if everyone at your workplace is very serious and formal, you could cultivate an image of being a creative and unconventional thinker. If everyone is casual, you could adopt a more professional and disciplined persona. You are forging a new identity that you control, one that commands attention and respect. This is not about being fake, it is about taking control of how the world sees you. You are choosing which parts of your personality to emphasize and which to hide. You are the author of your own story. Never let other people write it for you. Your identity should be your own creation, a work of art that serves your goals and makes you a powerful presence in the world. 28. Enter action with boldness. Hesitation is a killer. If you are unsure about something, your doubts will show in your actions. People can sense your uncertainty, and it makes them lose confidence in you. Timidity is dangerous. Boldness, on the other hand, can hide many of your flaws. When you act with confidence and courage, people assume you know what you are doing. A bold move can intimidate your opponents and make them second-guess themselves. A few years ago, a friend of mine applied for a job that he was not qualified for. During the interview, there were many technical questions he could not answer. Instead of getting nervous, he boldly told the interviewer, "I may not know the answer to that right now, but I am a very fast learner, and I promise you that if you hire me, I will be the best performer in this department within 6 months." The hiring manager was so impressed by his courage and confidence that he gave him the job. The manager later told him that his boldness was the only reason he was hired. Most people are timid. They are afraid of making mistakes or looking foolish. This gives the bold person a huge advantage. If you make a mistake with a bold action, you can usually correct it with even more boldness. People admire the courageous, but they do not respect the timid. So if you decide to do something, do it with all your energy and confidence. Do not be half-hearted. Enter with a bang, not a whisper. Boldness acts like a magnet, drawing power and success to you. 29. Plan all the way to the end. Most people only think about the first step of their plan. They have a goal, and they rush towards it without thinking about what comes next. This is a huge mistake. The law says that you must plan all the way to the end. You need to think about all the possible things that could happen, all the consequences of your actions, and all the obstacles that might get in your way. The ending is everything. It is the part that determines if you were successful or not. By planning to the end, you will not be surprised by unexpected events. You will be prepared for them. You will know what to do when things go wrong. This gives you a great sense of calm and clarity. While everyone else is panicking and improvising, you will be following your plan. Think of it like building a house. You would not just start building without a complete blueprint. You need to know where every wall, every window, and every pipe will go before you even lay the first brick. The same is true for any goal you have in life. Plan out all the steps, consider the potential problems, and have a clear vision of what success looks like at the very end. This allows you to guide events and control the future, instead of just reacting to it. Having a clear plan to the end prevents you from stopping halfway and ensures that you, not luck, get the credit for your success. 33. Discover each man's thumbscrew. Everyone has a weakness, a little secret, or something they are afraid of. The book calls this a thumbscrew. If you can find a person's thumbscrew, you have a powerful tool to influence them. This weakness could be an insecurity. For example, someone might be secretly insecure about their intelligence. If you know this, you can control them by either flattering their intelligence or subtly threatening it. The weakness could also be a hidden desire or pleasure. Maybe they have a secret love for a certain hobby or a guilty pleasure. If you can provide this for them, they will be in your debt. Finding someone's weakness requires careful observation. You need to listen to what they say, and more importantly, what they do not say. Watch how they behave. Pay attention to their casual comments and their emotional reactions. People often reveal their weaknesses without realizing it. Once you know someone's thumbscrew, you must use this knowledge carefully and subtly. Do not show them that you know their weakness. Use it gently to nudge them in the direction you want them to go. This is a very manipulative law, and it should be used with extreme caution. But it is also important to understand it for defensive purposes. Be aware of your own weaknesses. Do not talk too much about your private life or your insecurities. The less people know about what makes you tick, the less power they have over you. 36. Disdain. Things you cannot have. Sometimes, the more you complain about a small problem, the bigger and more important it becomes. The more attention you pay to an enemy, the stronger you make them in your own mind and in the eyes of others. This law teaches the power of strategic ignorance. If there is something you want but cannot get, it is best to act as if you never wanted it in the first place. Show complete disinterest. This makes you look powerful and in control. It is a form of revenge that drives people crazy. When you ignore someone or something, you are denying its existence. You are basically saying, "You are so unimportant that you are not even worth my attention." This is much more insulting than getting angry and fighting. For example, if a rival at work is constantly trying to annoy you and get a reaction from you, the best thing you can do is ignore them completely. Act as if they are not there. Do not respond to their provocations. This will frustrate them because they are not getting the reaction they want. Your lack of interest makes them look foolish and petty, while you appear calm and superior. If you make a small mistake, sometimes the best way to handle it is to not draw attention to it. If you try too hard to fix it and apologize, you just make it a bigger deal. Often, if you just ignore it, other people will forget about it too. By scorning the things you cannot have, you preserve your own energy and maintain your powerful appearance. 40. Despise the free lunch. There is no such thing as a free lunch. Anything that is offered for free always comes with a hidden price. The price might be an obligation. If someone gives you a gift or does you a big favor for free, you now feel indebted to them. You feel a sense of gratitude that they can use later to ask for something from you. The free item might also be a trick. A company might offer a free sample to get you hooked on their product or to get your personal information. The law says you should be very suspicious of anything offered for free. It is often better to pay the full price for something. When you pay your own way, you are free from any hidden obligations. You do not owe anyone anything. You are independent and in control. This gives you peace of mind. Think about the word free. When you hear it, a warning bell should go off in your head. When a store offers free shipping, the cost of the shipping is almost always hidden in the price of the product. When you line up for an hour to get a free $2 item, you have paid for it with 1 hour of your valuable time. Is your time only worth $2 an hour? By paying for things, you show that you value yourself and your independence. Generosity can be a tool of power. Be generous with your own money and resources, and it will make people loyal to you. But be very careful when you are on the receiving end of a free offer. Always ask yourself, what is the hidden cost? 41. Avoid stepping into a great man's shoes. What comes first always seems more original and better than what comes after. If you take a job where the person before you is a superstar, you are in a very difficult position. They have set a very high standard, and everyone will constantly compare you to them. To even be considered as good as them, you will have to work twice as hard and achieve twice as much. It is a game you are likely to lose. Instead of trying to fill a great person's shoes, it is better to create your own path. Find a new position or create a new role where you can be the first. This allows you to set your own standards. No one can compare you to the person who came before, because there was no one before. If you must take over from a successful person, you need to change the way things are done. Do not just continue their methods. You need to make a visible break with the past. This shows that you are your own person with your own ideas. This does not mean you should reject everything from the past. You can respect the old ways, but you must establish your own name and identity. Be like a son who does not want to live in the shadow of his famous father. He must go out and make his own fortune in a completely different field. This is the only way he can build his own reputation and power. 45. Preach the need for change, but never reform too much at once. Everyone agrees in theory that change is good, but in reality, people are creatures of habit. They are comfortable with the way things are, even if the way things are is not perfect. Too much change, too quickly, is scary and disruptive. It can lead to people getting angry and resisting you. If you are new to a position of power, be very careful about making big changes right away. You should show respect for the old way of doing things. If you come in and say everything they did in the past was wrong, you will insult everyone who was part of that system. A smarter approach is to make change feel like a gentle improvement on the past, not a complete rejection of it. Talk about the need for change in a general way, but implement it slowly and gradually. Make it seem like your new ideas are just a natural evolution of the good traditions that already exist. This will make people feel less threatened and more likely to accept your changes. For example, instead of saying, "We are getting rid of the old system because it was terrible," you could say, "The old system served us well for many years, and to honor that legacy, we are now going to build on its strengths with these small improvements." This approach respects people's feelings and habits, making them your allies in the process of change rather than your enemies. 46. Never appear too perfect. Appearing to be better than other people is dangerous, but the most dangerous thing of all is to seem like you have no flaws. Nobody is perfect, so if you appear to be perfect, people will not admire you. They will envy you and resent you. Envy is a very powerful and silent enemy. People who envy you will smile to your face, but they will secretly wish for you to fail. They will look for any small mistake you make and celebrate it. To protect yourself from envy, it is smart to occasionally show some small defects or weaknesses. Admit to a minor mistake you made. Tell a story about a time you were not so smart. This makes you seem more human, more approachable, and less threatening. It gives people something small to feel superior about, which calms their envy. Of course, you should not display major flaws that would make you look incompetent. Just a few minor, carefully chosen ones. For example, you could admit to having a bad sense of direction or being terrible at a certain sport. By showing a small weakness, you prevent people from becoming so envious that they want to harm you. It is a small price to pay for peace. Only gods can appear perfect. As a human trying to navigate the world of power, it is far safer to appear human, with all the small flaws that come with it. 48. Assume formlessness. The final law is about being flexible and adaptable, like water. Water has no single shape. It can be a gentle stream or a powerful tsunami. It takes the shape of whatever container it is in. Power is the same. The most powerful people are those who can change their shape and strategy to fit any situation. If you are too rigid, if you always use the same tactics, you become predictable. And if you are predictable, you are easy to defeat. Your enemies will learn your patterns and be able to counter your every move. To be formless means that you do not have a fixed plan that you follow blindly. You are constantly adapting to the present moment. It also means that you do not have a single fixed identity. You can be whatever you need to be in that moment, friendly and charming 1 minute, and hard and ruthless the next. This constant change makes you impossible to grasp. Your enemies cannot figure you out, so they do not know how to attack you. In a world that is always changing, being formless is the ultimate form of power. It allows you to survive any change and to take advantage of any opportunity. Do not be a solid rock that can be shattered. Be like water that can never be broken. Thank you for watching. I hope this gave you a better understanding of the hidden rules of power that operate in our world. Remember, this knowledge is best used to defend yourself, not to harm others. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this.